And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That means it's time for GotBot Goes live. And I'm actually on just a couple of minutes early. We have a jam-packed, action-packed show tonight. A bunch of news. Some of it just came out just before I went on the air. So we're going to kind of talk about all of that. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, baby, hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all my social media links, all that in the description down below. Of course, if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. And I will note now, normally on the live show, I do some shout outs when we get some new members or some new patrons. And today has been such a breakneck pace with my day job and then a union meeting and then trying to get the news together for you that I'm going to give all those shout outs next week. And there are a few of them. So I'm so very happy that they are on board. Speaking of that, speaking of patrons and channel members, I got a couple of things up and coming there. One, we're going to be talking about a couple of words, which I'm going to touch on here in a few minutes. I'm going to sort of explain kind of some logic that I have about seekers in a separate episode of A Little Dose of the Truth. And I'm going to be giving patrons and channel members about a 5-minute preview of the season finale of Universal Collision, something that will be coming up later. I'm soon going to be on holidays. I'll thankfully be able to get the season finale done then for all of you guys. So work is certainly continuing on all of that. I'm going to just get a couple of things slightly set up here. Though I'm kind of well set up this evening for the most part. And then we're going to, then we're going to get going pretty well. I'll say this, there's a bunch of news, like I said, to cover. This week's unboxing is quite small, but it did lead to something kind of cool, actually. But before I get to any of that, let's see who is here already. Razor Matrix, happy you're here. Hey, Sam, glad to see you. Blue Raccoon, happy you're here, buddy. Hey, Justin, look at that. Hope things are going good for you, buddy. For those of you who don't know, Justin is my buddy from the 3D Corner, who recently I kind of showed off a whole bunch of things that were printed thanks to his printing service. I believe all of those designs were actually Firetox's designs, but he provided me the printing service. Good lad. We're glad to have him around here. And we're also always happy to see old Maximal 10, even though for anybody who saw it, I did a review yesterday of the Energon Igniter's Nitro Series Barricade. And man, while there's things I like about that, there's a lot of rough aspects to that. You can thank Maximal 10 for that one. Hey, Big M. Big M. I like that. I like that name. It's a powerful name. I like it, buddy. Hey, Jay. Jack, happy to see you. So keen for our stream. Like that. I like that, buddy. Hey, Warren. As we go down here, I hit an imaginary bell when you say light up the hey, Ultra Megatronus. I was just going to ask what time you were going to go on. There you go, baby. Now, hey, Sawyer. It's funny. Sawyer just messaged me 5 minutes ago, maybe, and said, hey, and I was like, dude, live stream time. And there you go. I'm so busy. The last couple of days, like even with Starscream Wife, I think we've seen each other a grand total of about 8 minutes, roughly. It has been a crazy couple of days for us. Hey, Lee, happy to see you here. 3 live stream in the house. Hey, Chris. Devlin. As we go down. Yeah, I appreciate it, buddy. I just grabbed a huffer and rack tonight today. I'll be making up some huffer stuff in the next couple of days. Sweet. Huffer, rack tonight. I like both of them. I really do. Let's see. I was surprised that to find Galvatron at Target Day. Lucky. I I'll be shocked if I see Galvatron before August. I really will. I know he's been coming out in the US a lot, and that's fantastic. I'm glad you guys are getting him. I'll be shocked if he's here anytime before August. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I've been surprised before, but we'll see. Hey, Ultra Marcus, Dragonfly, Ken, Old Blue. Okay, so let's kind of kick off the news. And the first thing I want to do is I want to kind of talk about something, man, that came up that sort of blew me away. Now, I had a good laugh at it. I'm not going to lie. I had a good laugh at it. A couple of weeks ago, we did a countdown of the top 10 most useless accessories. And a couple of people came back and they said, they're all useful. They're not all useful. Let's not kid ourselves. And then some people came back, oh, well, that's a lie. One guy came back and said they're all useful. And then another guy came back because I said in that review that I didn't remember the scene where Cup had the Energon juice box and where Blur had the welder. And some dude came back who named himself after Flatulence. So that tells me a lot about the quality of the dude. You can see the whole conversation, by the way. I left it there. You can see the whole thing on that countdown and judge for yourself. The guy ended up devolving to the point that he called me a liar, and he said I had no credibility, and he said I'm not a true fan because I didn't remember a scene. And I said, look, I last time I saw the film was like in 2016 with my wife and a buddy in theater. No, I don't remember every scene. A lot goes on in my life. And he said it's iconic because it's the whole ba weep, gra na weep, ninny bong thing. And I'm like, look, the line is iconic. Parts of the scene might be iconic. But then I made this comparison. I said, look, in A Few Good Men, most people know Jack Nicholson's whole speech where he's like, you can't handle the truth. But in that scene, was Tom Cruise holding a pen? I don't know. This is the exact same thing. Even if I remember the scene, do I remember like Cup holding like an Energon goodie in it? No, I don't, because it didn't matter. So let's get a couple of things straight. There are certain items and accessories that are iconic. There are certain ones that are neat, and then you have certain ones that are useless. And even if something is iconic or neat, that's not to say it's useful as an accessory. The Matrix, pretty iconic. Love the thing. Looks cool. Glad to have it. Got too many of them now. But let's be realistic. It doesn't really do anything. It's only going to be used for so many displays, and it's going to spend 99% of its existence in the chest of a prime of some sort. So while it's iconic, it's not really useful. The black goop that came in the spoiler pack, neither iconic nor useful. Might be kind of neat if you like something just kind of squish that's very like Play-Doh-ish-esque, right? Clay-ish-esque. So there's an interesting conversation, and this is what I go into more depth in with, on Patreon with channel members. There's an interesting kind of discussion there. However, because someone doesn't remember a particular scene 5 years after seeing a film, for you to be rude enough to come back and accuse that person of being a liar and to say that that person is not just me, but anybody, and to say that that person isn't a fan is pretty offensive. And I think it speaks a lot to that person's character more than it does to anything else. That being said, it's a hilarious read because the guy goes on such this off-track tangent that it makes no sense. I still don't know what apparently it was I lied about. Not a clue. And he talked about like these Quintesson guards. I don't know if he meant Sharkticons or what. I have no idea what the dude was talking about. So there you go. There's my addressing of that. I stand by the countdown. I didn't necessarily agree with everything on it, but the votes don't lie. The list is the list. It is what it is. The fact that I didn't remember a scene had literally nothing to do with the countdown or the list or what made it or didn't make it. So we got that out of the way. Dude's a clown. Actually, I'll take that back. Take that back. What is it? What is it Bobby Skullface likes to say? I'm not saying you're a bozo, but you have bozo tendencies. Same sort of thing. Same sort of idea here. As we go down here a little bit, YOLOPARK showed off more of their shockwave. And I said that last week. I thought it looked cool, but I wasn't sold necessarily on the head. Here's what I'm going to say about that. What they showed off is that apparently the whole kind of detailing we saw is like his underbody innards, so to speak, like all of his skeleton, I guess his organs and stuff, because all of that goes covered by what I can only really call armor bits. And then he looks quintessentially like he did in the Bumblebee movie. I think actually it's brilliant. The complexity of that model kit to put it together has to be mind-boggling, but it does look beautiful. Once painted up, I would imagine it is tremendous. So I kind of give, all the greebly details as like his underbody under the armor. I think that's brilliant, really brilliant. Something very special there. We saw some Kingdom Wave 3 packaging. It's packaging, nice artwork for the most part. I really like the look of the Trax packaging. And what is it, Dracodon? Is that his name? I like the look of the Soundwave packaging, especially with the cassette coming out of the chest. I don't know if there is a Laserbeak cassette. Some people might know that. I'm not planning on getting the little like core class Soundwave. If there is, and it's a Laserbeak and he can transform, that's neat. If he can't transform, then kind of what's the point? I'm just throwing that out there. We saw several new images of MP-52 Starscream. The guy still looks bulbous and round to me. Apparently he doesn't have a waist. You're saying you're perfect. You're saying you're a masterpiece, which means your articulation needs to be 10 to be perfect. If you don't have a waist, it's impossible to be 10. It is not a masterpiece. I don't even think it looks like it. The head looks off to me. Like there's something, I don't know, like it looks too short or too wide or something. It's not hitting the mark for me. I honestly, while I'm not a fan of the, what is it, MP11, MP9, I don't know what it was, whatever, the old Seeker mold, while I'm not a huge fan of that mold in general, I do think it better embodies the character than the new one does. That's just me, to each their own. A lot of the images, shout out to Tales from Teletran for this one, a lot of the images have been kind of like, not straight on, like they were kind of like looking up at the guy or something. And I realized, you know what, that's true. And then we saw some more new ones, especially where he's holding Megatron, that's like more straight on or down. And I think he looks a little bit better that way, but he's definitely not for me. I do like that he has the like chest pauldron things, but I feel like the chest section, the lower legs, I don't know, it all seems a little bulbous. The proportions seem off to me somehow. I don't know. I respect that they're trying to get it as animation accurate as possible, but I feel like in this case, it's not working out because you're almost taking the imperfections of the animation and incorporating those as well. And I don't think that that's to its credit. But I will say this. He does come with the claw and asteroid thing from when they were drilling to the center of the Earth or whatever it was. That's kind of a neat little add-on. And chest missiles, like I said. So I think that's okay. We also saw images of Grindor and Ravage. Grindor is basically Blackout with a bit of rust on him. The Ravage it's a little cat thing. I don't think it's as good as Scorponok. I think the Scorponok is better. But this new mold does have the better, more articulated hands. I wish the Blackout had it. Am I going to get Grindor for better hands? No, not a chance. But if you didn't get Blackout, or you really like that mold, I could totally understand why you would get Grindor, because honestly, it's a tremendous mold. It really is something special as a later class. Really, really special. We saw Tiki Mugs. They're Optimus and Bumblebee. The Bumblebee seems to have like a grrr type of face on him, and the Optimus like has like those little, like when you see anime and someone smiles and like their eyes make those like shape like a I want to say arc-en-ciel because I know it in French. Rainbow. Like the Optimus is, I feel like if you moved his faceplate that seems to have a couple of scratches on it, that you'd see him smiling underneath. I don't know. Tiki Mugs. I don't. Okay, whatever. Let's talk about Devastators for a little bit. Both Magic Square and Newage showed off really their entire team for the most part. When it comes to the Magic Square, I think it looks extremely G1. It is painted very nicely, and I like that it can either look G1 or Studio Ox. It has bits and pieces to allow both looks. I think that's very clever and very interesting. There's interchangeable heads and faces. Very well done set. I have full confidence in Magic Square. Now, word is that Magic Square has kind of change the materials that they've been using to a more durable sort of material rather than the old nylon plastic. And I don't know if that'll be to its benefit or not, but you may notice certain, I'm not going to say tolerance issues, but you may notice certain things a little more fiddly because they've made this material change, and I think the designs were based on the old material. So it'll be interesting to see just how functional this is, but it does look tremendous. Then we get Newage. Now, Newage is going to be quite small. The vehicle modes and the robot modes are tremendous. Each one is going to stand at 9.8 centimeters. Real small, but brilliant. There's die cast in there. They come with their trumpets from that scene in the movie. Now, here's a perfect example. The trumpets. Neat. Not necessarily iconic. Could be iconic, but neat. Are they useful? No, they're not useful. Unless you're specifically going to do that one scene, no, they're not useful. Unless they play music. They don't play music. In that scene, I would say the trumpets are neat. I would say Starscream's shoulder pieces and his crown are iconic. That's the difference for me. What do we have here? They have articulated hands at 9.8 centimeters. You have articulated hands? Seriously? But there's a caveat to all this. When you go to combine mode, the chest, the whole back, the head, the forearms and like the inside of the upper arm and the thighs and the waist, all one extra piece that you really kind of build the Constructicons onto. That's going to be fine for some people. I mean, Zeta has kind of gone that route, like with their Superion, and everybody hailed it as tremendously well done. I think it's going to be super well articulated. I think it's going to be super solid, but you're going to have to be okay with a major parts forming piece. That's going to appeal to some and not to everybody. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? Trumpeter has a smart kit, of course, as we know, of their Blitzwing and Bumblebee. Here's what I didn't know, and I don't know if you necessarily knew. They're quite small. Both of them come in at under 12 centimeters in height. Remember, the Newage, and we kind of know what Newage stuff tends to be like size-wise. It's pretty tiny. The Newage Constructicons are 9.8 centimeters. These two, the Trumpeter, Bumblebee, and Blitzwing, while highly detailed, articulated, and cool, are quite small at under 12 centimeters. So if you're going to buy them, know that you're getting something pretty tiny for the most part. Thailand Toy Expo. We saw this like odd Bumblebee and Optimus Prime that looks like a human kind of wearing Bumblebee armor and Optimus armor. The arms are articulated. It's like, the chibi style. I don't think the legs really move on it, but it's based on, what is it? Nang Toy's mascot. And apparently it's going to have a limit of like 100 pieces. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know the reference. I assume you got to live in Thailand to know the reference, would be my guess. But apparently it's going to be on display at like Wonderfest or something. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. If you're in for it, cool. It's not for me. It's definitely a niche thing. What else do we have here? We saw a 2022 wall calendar. It is like in homage, I'll say, to G1. Like the Bumblebee is a little bit stylized. The Megatron doesn't quite have all the black he should have on his face. The inside of his legs is red, which is not the way it was in the animation. It's the way it was kind of in his G1 like toy version. And his fusion cannon on the wall calendar, while I'm sure it's supposed to be like light reflecting off it or something, it didn't look black to me. It looked white to me, honestly. I thought that was really weird. I mean, to each their own, but I thought that was a strange one. What else do we have here? Nothing there. Let's turn those over. And we have T-Rex images. We saw T-Rex in package. Look, I love the Beast Wars Kingdom Megatron. I'm sure the T-Rex is great. It's not going to be for me, but if you're in for T-Rex, I have no reason to say don't pick him up. If you have an interest in the character, I have zero reason to say don't pick him up. It's just I don't have interest enough in the character to spend what Hasbro wants me to spend on it. Really simple as that. The roll and change gimmick. I said they're not good, and they're not good. We have a Bumblebee and an Optimus. It's jump starters. That's what came out. Apparently, that whole gimmick is jump starters. Remember the G1 versions of Twin Twist and I don't even remember the other dude's name right now. It's eluding me. Oh, the blue dude. What's his name? Somebody tell me the blue dude's name. The other jump starter. I'll see it. Somebody's gonna write it. I'm gonna be like, there you go. That's what it was. Somebody definitely knows his name. It was Twin Twist and Topspin. Thank you, Sam Topspin. And that's basically what this is. So you're getting the same gimmick that was done when I was 6, except now it's with Bumblebee and Optimus, and the plastic quality probably isn't as good. So it is what it is. Not for me. Not for me. If it's for you, cool, but nothing about that is for me. On the packaging, though, we do see the Dinobots, and we had Ultra Class Sludge that was revealed. I think it's cool that his tail becomes a spare. That's a bit different. The like blue on his head is a little bit different, but he seems pretty well articulated for something from Cyberverse. I've liked some of the latter ultra class offerings, like Thunder Howl and Rack and Ruin, for example. So the Sludge might be good. Plus, Sludge is my favorite Dinobot. I find it weird that they're doing them there now when we have the Studio Series stuff coming. So I don't think I'm going to be in for it, but I think it's really cool, and it's probably going to, it's going to fit for someone, right? Funko showed their 10-inch Soundwave with cassettes. I'm not a Funko guy. Apparently, the cassettes can go in his chest. I don't think they transform or anything. I think it's just the paint deco is Rumble, Frenzy, Ravage, and Laserbeak, the quintessential 4. Pardon that noise. That's for actually work tomorrow. If you hear that, that's files going in my drive for work for tomorrow that somebody's putting in there. What else do we have here? DNA Design showed their 86 Grimlock upgrade kit. This is an interesting one, a very good one that comes with a sword. I don't really need it. I have a sword that comes with teeth. I actually had a couple of sets of teeth. Comes with forearm fillers. I do think the forearm fillers are nice and clean. I don't really need them. The thing that cracked me up about the DNA Design set is instead of really upgrading Wheelie, let's just forget that existed. Now here's Wheelie. Here's a new Wheelie. Here's Wheelie for you. I've always said that my Titans Return one is, fine for my Wheelie, and it is. But I'm not going to pretend that the one that comes with this DNA Design set isn't a tremendously well done Wheelie. It really, really is. DNA Design, they do a nice job. I expect good things, honestly. What else do we have here? YOLOPARK again showed their IIES Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime. It's like an Earth mode Optimus Prime. It's from the Bumblebee movie. I think it stands 24 inches, and it is an interconnect skeleton system that actually has gears. Gears in there. I mean, this is a whole different level of engineering. This is just short of actually being a robot. There's only going to be 666 pieces, kind of an ominous number to choose. And if you're thinking that does sound amazing, a 2-foot tall Optimus with gears and stuff, it is. But be prepared to pay through the teeth because the asking price, calm yourself. Are you ready? Are you ready? The asking price is going to be $2,750 US. I think that's why it's getting such a limited run. It's going to be a really special collector that gets that one, man. Really special collector. What else do we have here? We saw from Takara Tomy Premium line a version of the movie Bumblebee. I think it was Studio Series 38, I think. Might be 38. I don't remember now. Optimus Prime. The Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. That's Studio Series 1. This one, I think, does look nicer. I think the red is more vibrant. He has blue fists, which is nice. I think the blue is a bit of a brighter, more vibrant blue. It looks more G1-ish in terms of the shade of the colors. The Megatron, to me, looks very similar to the Netflix Megatron. Neither are for me, but if they are for you, cool. I do think that if you like that Studio Series Optimus Prime, this might be the best mainline version of it to get. What else do we have here? 3-0 showed off. Well, it didn't show off. Actually, pre-orders are up, and I think it's a BBTS exclusive for Shattered Glass Soundwave. at $249.99 US. It's just like the other Soundwave that came out from 3.0, except this one is shattered glass. It still has the Ravage that can fold up. I like that they say, like, it doesn't transform, it just folds up and goes in his chest. So it still comes with that Ravage. It's in shattered glass colors now. He has his thing around his head, and it looks gorgeous. I mean, it doesn't transform. It is what it is, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous shattered glass Soundwave. And we, of course, have had shattered glass kind of be a thing as of late. And if it's not a BBTS exclusive, I apologize because I'm not 100% sure. It has 80 points of articulation as well and a die-cast frame. Good night, nurse. Come on. It will, however, in North America be limited to 300 pieces. So if you're thinking that you would like to have that and that you're willing to kind of dish the cash out for it, do it. Because if you wait, you might miss out. This is very much a case of if you wait, you might miss out because there's only going to be 300 of them in all of North America. Not for me, not for $250 US, but it's definitely going to be for someone. And Unique Toys. When was the last time, man, we heard something from Unique Toys? They showed off their Age of Extinction Galvatron. And guess what? It looks right up there with Perukill, their Lockdown, which was heralded as brilliant. And they've done a couple of other movie brilliant things. The Galvatron, when you look at it, you virtually don't see any of the alt mode. It's almost voodoo or magic, if you will, as to how that thing is going to convert. It looks more art than robot. I feel like Unique Toys, at least as of late, while they have had very limited releases, when they have put things like this out, it's really been knocking it out of the ballpark. I like the company. I think that this is going to be a great movie, Galvatron. I could be wrong. I think that the transformation is probably going to be insane. And it's going to be a lot of him turning inside out. I believe. But man, does it look beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. I'm going to, before I go on with anything else here, and there's only a bit of news left now. We've made good time, actually. But I'm going to go up and I'm going to check in with you guys because I know I've been missing a lot of the stuff being said. And I do want to see what you guys have to say. But where there was so much news, I really wanted to try and get through a bunch of it. Let's go up here. How far up do I need to go? Okay, let's go down here a little bit because I think this is about it. Yeah, I would say that was definitely a good find, Justin. I don't know about you, Justin. Man, I miss Target around here. You know, Justin's a local fellow, by the way. I miss Target around here. I don't know if you do. I certainly do. I got my Combiner War stuff there so much earlier. It was great. Hey, Crimson, happy you're here, buddy. Lego says the new potential Waspinator looks like he. Really? We're going to talk about him in a minute. I don't think. We'll talk about him in a minute. We'll talk about him in a minute. Already shipped from BBTS. At least I got mine shipped. Cool. Nice. Got a Kingdom Cyclonus the other day. Really lives up to the hype, man. Cyclonus is arguably figure of the year. Arguably. Chris says, oh, yeah. Yeah, Galvatron. I knew you meant Galvatron, buddy. Hey, Medic. I'm just passing by. I appreciate you passing by. That combo sounds perfect. I'll be honest, I was going to boycott Kingdom Rodimus Prime, but if they pop up at store, I'm getting attacked. Kingdom Rodimus Prime at store. Good grief, that's pretty much fanatical. Oh, it was hyper fanatical, Maximal. Like hyper fanatical. Really high. Yeah, I know I shouldn't. And usually I don't have to explain myself. Even the person who said they're all useful, I was like, they're not all useful. He was like, well, they are to me. I'm like, well, that's fine. If you can find a use for it, that's cool. But there's certain things that, like, here's the way I look at it. They take the plastic content out of the main character. And they're like, well, we're going to put this plastic content in these accessories. And if enough fans are like, those accessories are neat, but they're not really necessary, then when they remove those accessories, so now you just don't have that plastic content anymore because they're not putting it back in the character, and now they've removed the accessory. So even if that accessory was 7 grams of plastic, now that 7 grams is gone. You're paying the same price, but now they're not putting out the same content. They've removed that slowly but surely, and you didn't even notice. That's the goal. That's the game. Like, let's not kid ourselves. That's the game that's played here. They're all they're all useful depending on what you're doing with them. No, they're not. No, they're not. Come on. You can stand by that opinion, but it's wrong. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah, I mean, like, while we have that difference of opinion, most people that are part of this community know that we have a difference of opinion. At the end of the day, it's nothing personal. This guy made it personal. I mean, this guy outright tried to attack my credibility and say I was a liar. I have anybody who knows me knows better. I don't lie even when I should. I ordered Roddy from GameStop. I got mine. Actually, I think I got mine ordered from Amazon or EB Games. I don't know. I don't know where I got mine ordered from. He's gonna come eventually. I expect him in July. If I see him in store sooner, cool. I'll cancel my pre-order. But we'll see. We'll see. And here's the thing: I did see one review of the Rodimus Prime M-Goes, and I actually did watch it because I wanted to see the Rodimus Prime. And I have been saying all along, man, I'm not feeling Commander class. I still don't feel Commander class, but I do feel that it's more than Leader class. And I'll talk about that when the day comes that I actually review the guy, because I don't want to say too much before I actually have him in hand. He's a bit of an enigma, I think. Yeah, like the Matrix is kind of useless with Hot Rod. It can't store it in either mode. I respectfully disagree on the list in defense of Mech Tech, Cyber Planet Keys to each their own. But see, like Mech Tech, like I only had like two things that had Mech Tech, and the fact that it would spring back to me was just annoying. Like, why did you not give it a locking point? Now, maybe it was just a couple I had, but I found them more cumbersome and a nuisance, and they didn't even store very well. Like, I just okay, it's just I don't think that it worked. The Cyber Planet keys, I don't really like anything from Unicron Trilogy, so I mean it is what it is. That being said, I only have one character with a Cyber Planet key. That is Vector Prime. It's the 2008 version where he doesn't have any of the electronics and sounds and stuff. That's been torn out, and that panel is riveted shut. The Cyber Planet key literally does nothing. It doesn't even stay slotted in his chest well, it falls out. It literally is a waste of plastic with him that serves no purpose and adds no value. So, I mean, it is what it is. That being said, there are times that it's very useful, necessary even for certain features. So it kind of depends on the character we're talking about, right? The countdowns are a lot of popular opinion, and yeah, I mean, shouldn't be considered that serious, and they're not that serious. That's the whole point of them. Like, often I've said it loads of times, man. If I was personally doing the list, a lot of times they'd be a lot different than what the votes would indicate. But the votes are the votes. They're the most objective way to kind of do these, and it, like, you know, everybody and everything gets a fair shake. Like some people, when I done the asymmetrical Transformer, said there shouldn't be any combiners on it. Why? Why? I didn't say who are the top 10 most asymmetrical Transformers that aren't combiners. It was who are the top 10 most asymmetrical Transformers. How someone interpreted that question led them to vote the way that they did. And I deliberately leave it open for that reason. A little while ago, like I think it was Blue Raccoon, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Said, I have an idea. Why don't you do Transformers that have door wings that are not Blue Streak, Prowl, and Smokescreen? I'm like, that's such a long question. No. He was like, well, how about just door wings then? I'm like, I could probably do that one. Because you have to keep in mind that it needs to be a handleable, digestible question. Something that, you know, I can make a note of in the thumbnail. Something I can make a title for. Something that when we actually do the countdown can be given a name on the countdown. And while I've seen and heard some great ideas, they're not always practical ideas. Not for a list. Good discussion, but not necessarily great for a list. But honestly, Chris is absolutely right. Don't take him too serious. It's fun. It's meant to start your week off. First, it used to be on Fridays. Now they're Mondays. It's meant to start your week off with a little bit of fun. Let's see how the votes panned out. The one that's going on right now is top 10 fan modes. Some people tried to say certain things like, oh, well, this, set from DNA Design, or this set from Toy Hacks, or this set from Matrix Workshop. And I'm like, those are sets that you buy. No, fan modes are modes that you make as a fan. And some people said, easy, all the weaponizers. No, because a lot of them have several loadouts and modes that are official and in instructions. The only way those count is when you have a mode that is actually a fan mode. Case in point an example. The COG trailer made it of 3 or 4 COGs to go with Siege Optimus Prime. That was not in any instructions. That is a fan mode. That is an example of something you could vote for. Cool. A lot of people are excited to see how that one pans out. It's a difficult one. A lot of people are saying, you got me stumped. I don't know what to vote for. It's going to be interesting how that one pans out. I end up getting the Quintesson Judge. Very happy. Love the Judge. Glad you got him. If we get 86 Hot Rod without Matrix, it'd be better getting Kingdom Rodimus. Maybe a wallet, better than alternative. Here's the thing. I don't need a Matrix with Hot Rod and a Matrix with Rodimus. I only need it with one. Besides that, give it to me with Optimus. Give it to me with Shattered Glass Optimus. It would have been nice if I had one with Nemesis Prime. But, beggars can't be choosers. I'll live. Hey, Input. Happy to see you here, buddy. I only commented with my opinion as usefulness of accessories to increase interaction. Yes, that's right. And honestly, like, if you say they're useful and I say they're not, cool. All right, whatever. We may even have banter, but it's different than devolving into argumentative, bad blood, personal attacks. And if someone's going to personally attack me, you guys know me. I'm going to bite back. Absolutely going to bite back. I seen the Star Scream was too. I wasn't too happy with it overall. Let's see, core Soundwave only if I make a core class Wheeljack because of my favorite G1 Autobot and Decepticons. That's fair. Hey Dragonfly, if I didn't say hey. What do we have here? Hey Solid S. Go down here. Anyone disappointed that there's no Kingdom trailer today? Yes, but I am glad that we got confirmation that Kingdom will be out on July the 29th. Can't wait. Countdown has already started for me. I do like the 2 images that were shown with the Nemesis crashing and the Ark crashing. I just thought that was cool. It's neat. The soundtrack is going to be coming out as well if you're into soundtracks. I'm not, but cool if you are. I think you can get upgraded hands for the Blackout in a kit. You can get upgraded hands for the Blackout. I'm not sure who makes them now, but yes, you absolutely can. I want to say DNA Design makes them, actually. I'm getting the Grindor just because I love Blackout. And that's fair, Jay. Honestly, while I'm not going to get Grindor, I don't need another Blackout. Honestly, if you do, I totally support it. If you want to know my thoughts on Grindor, look at my review on Blackout. And then when I get to the articulation, know that we go up like a whole other number. So if I said the articulation was an 8, now it's a 9 because the hands are better. If I said the articulation was 9, now it's 10. I don't think it's quite a 10 though. I can't recall now. But that is such a well done Studio Series offering. Really, really something special. A Girl Has No Name. I like that name. We had a Generation Selects. What? Oh, had me a Generation Selects Rotorstorm today. Such a beautiful look. I saw Rotorstorm and I said, I know nothing about the character. I've never heard of him. I don't remember him from back in the day. I know nothing about him. But those colors are quintessentially early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s. I need him in my life. Plus, I love that Spinister mold. Got him, learned a bit about him, realized he's a legend in his own mind. I was like, I love this guy. This guy's great. And now I have a whole new appreciation for Rotorstorm. Kind of like with Impactor. Like, I had no idea who he was. Not a clue. And now I know enough about him that, honestly, and his Siege offering was so good that at a time when I was feeling really dejected, he really kind of rekindled my passion. He was that good. Love the guy. Really, really love the guy. Love customs and Spinister's colors, absolutely. I got the add-on set for Studio Series Grimlock pre-ordered with the new wheelie. I think you're going to be really happy with that. I love DNA design; they do a great job. I heard Hook and Long Haul don't actually transform into the torso portion of Devastator; they just slide in. Yeah, that's exactly what I heard too, Jay. The shoulder pads, cape, crown is a keeper for Earthrise. Look, I think you're going to get that with the Studio Series offering. I assume it's going to be the Earthrise Starscream, possibly grayed out, and he's going to come with the King bits, right? You know, that's what he's going to come with, right? What would be cool is if he actually came with trumpets that you could give the Combiner Wars Constructicons as well. That'd be neat. Let's see. The parts from into a spaceship or something. It's so large. Yeah, that's right. The parts from a spaceship or exactly. Hey Snoke, happy to see you here, buddy. The plastic is becoming more like what? A balsa wood? Sans what? Away easy. Oh, Sans way easy but stronger. Oh. Yes, that's a good way to describe it. Yes, that is a good way to describe it, Snoke. The plastic is more like balsa wood. It sands way easy, but it is stronger. Yes, that's a nice way to describe. I'm assuming there you're talking about the plastic change with Magic Square. I think you're right. Yes. Um, let's do a raid on the like button. I appreciate it. Let's see. Toys R Us up here has made the Ark available for home delivery, even though it still says what? It still says available July 5th, owing that only 150 were on order. Interesting. By the way, if you heard that ding, that's more stuff going in there for my work tomorrow. Um, Input solid, I appreciate it, guys. As we go down here, hey Connor. Um, Should have made Titan broadside instead of the Ark. No, broadside should be commander. I'm not getting behind a Titan broadside or a Titan tidal wave. They're boats, and I don't care. Don't tell me it's a ship. Oh, don't tell me they're huge. It's not a city. It's not a city. Even if it's a giant boat, it's not a city. It would need to be really the size of a city if it's going to be a Titan to go with the other ones. But I freely admit, totally agree that it is definitely much bigger than what the Voyager lads are. While I'm happy with the Voyager lads, honestly, it would make sense for them to be commander class. But I'm not getting on board with a Titan. I wouldn't even consider buying a Titan of that. Not a chance, because there's nothing about it that belongs in Titan class. I just don't get the logic behind it. I'm sorry. We've had this debate before, and I'm sorry. I know that that's rubbing some people the wrong way. I don't think it would sell. I don't think it's realistic to do it. I don't think it's going to sell not at that size because there's going to be too many people that will say it's not a Titan. It makes no sense. The Ark, honestly, really kind of doesn't make sense as a Titan either. But honestly, for the draw for me for the Ark isn't the Ark. The draw for me is the 13th Prime. That's where the draw is for me. Or not 13th Prime, the last Autobot. I'm sorry. The last Autobot. That's the draw for me, personally. To each their own, but that's the draw there for me. The Ark should have a base mode. Yes, I agree. And a base mode that you could at least use Legends with, like a base mode akin to the other base modes we have. That little tiny Optimus is coming with it. That's all red. Useless. Can't move, useless. And before you say, yeah, he can display inside of it. Useless. Just saying. Just throwing it out there, man. Just throwing it out there. Hey, ALB. As we go down here a bit. Hey, Master Fair. E3 does start tomorrow. Yeah, and I don't even think they had one last year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a pop collector, and neither am I. But it is the news, so I throw it in there because I know some people are big pop collectors. A couple of people I know immediately saw that 10-inch Soundwave and said, "Got to get it, pre-order in." Getting Nightmare Before Christmas, Funko Pop Train. That's cool. If you're into pops, that's cool. I know a couple of people that collect them like pretty religiously, man. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. Fun fact: Starscream Wife used to be part of a like dance troupe, and 1 year for the Christmas show because they done I think 3 a year. 1 year for the Christmas show, they did the Nightmare Before Christmas. It was a pretty good show too. Um, that's that's what that 3-0 Ravage is so wrong. It is, but I respect what they were trying to do, right? Let's see. Oof. Where am I going to here? Thing jumped on me. I love when the thing jumps on me. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun when the thing jumps on me? Um, hmm, how far up is this? Okay, there. Whew. Okay. I like the siege run with the battle damage too. Also the paint on Hot Rod. What? Also a repaint of Hot Rod is coming. Who cares? Hot Rod was a ripoff, so who cares? Shattered Glass, maybe. Speak it down. Hey, Triple R, happy to see you here, buddy. Hey, Nexus. Okay, so I'm going to just say it. I don't believe for a second that this Kingdom Waspinator is Kingdom Waspinator. I don't believe for a second. I think it's a hoax, and I think it's sucking a lot of people in. I think it's a custom of this guy. All they did was they took these double legs and put them down here. Those don't look real. They look molded to me. They took these small ones and put them up in the arms. They don't look real to me. They look molded. If they're real, it looks really bad. Really, really bad. The silhouette looks like this guy with a ton of green and yellow paint that's custom added on him. I believe they got alternative wings, popped these out, popped alternative wings in, and had them facing upward. I It could be a Kingdom Waspinator. I don't believe it. I see it. I'm like, that looks like an acceptable custom of animated Waspinator using the Thrilling 30 mold. I don't believe for 1 second it is the actual Kingdom Waspinator. Now, while I don't believe that, based on what we saw today, let's have some fun and assume for a second that people aren't being fleeced, aren't being, a joke played on them. And let's assume it is the real Kingdom Waspinator. I think it's going to shelf warm like crazy. And here's why. It looks like a poorly painted custom. Doesn't even look like a well painted custom. It is not Beast Wars Waspinator. It is the Waspinator from a completely different line, that being animated. I think people that are looking to do an updated Beast Wars collection will look at that Waspinator and say, yeah, that's not the right Waspinator for this collection. I could be wrong, but I think that's what's going to happen. Based on what we saw today, if that's true, if it is the Kingdom Waspinator, easiest pass of my life. I think it looks awful. I think it looks like a poorly done custom. I got to be honest. I can tell you now that unless somebody sends it to me or unless somebody loans it to me to review, not a chance I would waste the money on it. The Thrilling 30, I can't even say it'll function better, but the Thrilling 30 infinitely looks more like the Waspinator I know. The new one, no, I don't like it. Do not at all like it one bit. To each their own, not for me. Also, I'll throw this out there too. We saw some more images of MPM 12 Optimus Prime. Looks really cool. Honestly, MPM 12 looks really cool. I think that movie Masterpiece does a better job of Masterpiece than mainline Masterpiece. Take that for what you will. Premium Collectibles showed off a Grimlock statue or a teaser with a Grimlock head. Cool, I guess. Nice Grimlock head, I suppose. Cyberverse Sludge, we already talked about. He's pretty cool. Rescue Bots, Dinobot Adventures. We saw a Grimlock and a Snarl. We saw a Bumblebee and an Optimus. They're part of some 2-packs. And then we saw T-Rex Optimus Prime. Neat if you like Rescue Bots. It's cute. It is what it is. What else do we have here? Dr. Wu showed off their G1 Optimus Prime, who is also going to be repainted as Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, as Alternate Universe Optimus Prime, which is Dead Prime, and as Nemesis Prime. They all come with a trailer. He is going to stand, where is it? 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters. Tiny and super accurate and highly articulated. Here's the thing. I got the Mohawk that was part of Dr. Wu's line. Very small. Done amazingly. Really well. Really, really special for something so tiny. I expect the Optimus Prime to be to that same quality and standard. And if it is, as I suspect, it's going to be a really fun, functional, and well done and amazing Optimus Prime that will scale tremendously well with Titans. I think Dr. Wu might be onto something special here to scale with Titans and be functional. A lot better than that gloopy little figurine that's coming with the Ark. Just saying. Thunder Robot showed off their gaming PC and keyboard. The keyboard is Bumblebee inspired. The PC just looks cool. If you want a Transformers PC and keyboard, cool. Go for it. I'm sure it's expensive because it's a gaming one, but really cool. We saw some images from Takara Tomy when it comes to Wingfinger and Tracks. I feel like both of them look better in the Takara images than the Hasbro images, especially the Tracks. Just nicer angles. We saw images of their vintage Beast Wars Megatron. Looks really good. Really good. That being said, the vintage Beast Wars Megatron seems to have a black helmet rather than a silver helmet. I support that. I think that's a good move. Studio Series Slag, we saw some images from them with that. Again, do got a bit of a backpack, but he seems well articulated, as well as Wreck-Gar and Nah, all of which still look pretty great. Speaking of Takara Tomy, this is the last piece of news. There was an interview recently done with Shogo Hasui. I hope I'm saying his name right, and if I'm not, I apologize. He is basically a designer with Takara who is very in touch with Hasbro. Like, he is very much a go-between of those two and has helped kind of develop that relationship. And I thought it was a bit of an interesting read. It's definitely worth reading, and it's well translated as well too. So it's definitely, I'm saying well translated, maybe he done it in English, I don't know. But it is a very well done, interesting read, and he explains in it kind of how things sort of work now, where Hasbro sets a budget and then they go back to Takara, and Takara's designers kind of look at, okay, so what can we do with this budget? How many molds can we have? How many pieces can we have? What works within this budget? So when we see limitations, when we see less paint apps, when we say, well, you know what, there probably should have been an extra joint or a hinge here. When we say, well, you know what, that's neat that they included that, but I don't know how well it was done because of the materials. When we see compromise on materials, all of these compromises is because of Hasbro's budget, not usually because of Takara's design. Very, very interesting, eye-opening read, and it wasn't always that way, but that's kind of the way it's done now, where Hasbro sets the budget, and then they look at what they can do with that budget. Interesting way of doing it. It is a change in business, but it's been done that way now for a long, long time. So definitely worth the read if you haven't done it. But just a couple of little interesting notes there for sure about how that works. I'm going to check in with you guys. Then we're going to do some trivia given to us by our friend Dragonfly. By the way, I have a piece of trivia that I found myself, but I'm not going to do it this week. I'll save that one maybe for next week. We'll see. I'll save it for some week when I don't have trivia. Got Kingdom Dinobot today. He is great. I'm glad that you got him. Keldeo? Or Keldeo? I think it's Keldeo. Target here in Chicago, stock's good, but the Walmart suck. Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. How much you want to bet the Kingdom Blaster will be a heavy retool of Soundwave? Well, that would make perfect sense. If it's not, I'd be disappointed if it wasn't a heavy retool of Soundwave. Hey, Lee, anyone know the reason why Hasbro let online retailers put pre-orders up for the Coneheads, then cancel the whole thing? Interesting. Now, here's an interesting part with that. Some people don't know we're talking about there. It was brought up that a couple of Canadian retailers, I think Toy Snowman and like DLC or something, uh, retailers I'd never heard of before now, honestly, put up pre-orders. And I think there was one more. Put up pre-orders for the Coneheads for September or October. The Amazon ones still have not been filled. Then it came back that a lot of those orders got canceled because Hasbro said they're not going to be filling them. However, when that happened, it wasn't confirmed where that came from. And apparently, some of these retailers actually sent out messages saying, "We are aware of these rumors. We have not received any cancellation from our uh, uh, like order from the manufacturer." So I don't know if these pre-orders are going to happen or if they're not going to happen. Some people speculated and said spreading the rumor that they were being canceled was being done by scalpers to try and sell their sets online on places like eBay for highly inflated prices still. Because if there's another run coming and those pre-orders are out, then what are scalpers going to do with theirs, right? So I don't know if it's legitimately being canceled. I don't know if they were ever true pre-orders to begin with. I don't know if this is a ploy by scalpers to increase their business. I've heard all of it, but there's a lot of muddy waters going on there. And there's more to that story than meets our eye for sure. I agree about Kingdom Cyclones, almost perfect. So we go down here, and I'm skipping some stuff because I want to, I want to try and get out of here in a couple of minutes. Having Kingdom Galvatron in hand, I have to say he's beefy, man. Yeah, he does look pretty beefy. Happy Rodimus has a shell and a drawer in the trailer. Hey, Ninja Bill, happy to see you here. By the way, Ninja Bill just put up a review of Huffer. Go check that out. Earthrise RC skateboard upside down to whole parts for customizing. Imagine that I want two scene from 2007 bot with Waspinator instead of Jazz and Dinobot Megatron. As we go down here. Wheelie is useful if you attach a battle rocket to him and light the fuse. Yup. Triple R, you're absolutely right. I broke down and pre-ordered a pair of Rodimus Primes. FD. Living on the hog, buddy. He stands next to Optimus equally. He might be heavier, but he sure looks like a Voyager. Yes, he looks like a Voyager. You're right. He looks like a Voyager. It'll be an interesting review. That one's going to be an interesting review. Wheelie forever. Input. How dare you? Wheelie did not make Grimlock his anything. I'm just going to stay with Hot Rod right after getting Galvatron hand. I had to get Rodimus. Let's see. I left my wheelie tied up in the 86 box. That's what Ultra Marcus says. A lot of people did that. I printed what? I painted rims on Rodimus. Yeah, you got to. The rim should have been painted anyway, to be honest with you. I don't mind Rodimus being a leader. Samuel says Kingdom Rodimus makes me angry. He makes a lot of people angry. Pardon me. That may have been work. Hold on. I am not. Hold on. That's a shame. I had turned out some work somewhere for Monday because I'm already busy somewhere else. Such is life. Let's see. I'm going on the Rodimus Prime. The hunt continues. Good luck. I don't even call the hunt yet. Like I said, I don't expect him for a long time yet. But good luck to you guys out looking for him now. May force my hand with Rodimus as we go down here. Best version of his character. We need an SS86 Perceptor. We don't need, because honestly, the Titan's Return one is great. There is an SS86 Perceptor coming, so I don't know, but I don't need it. Will it be better? I don't know. Probably, maybe, but I'm happy with the. See a lot of stuff going on in this show. I'm happy with the Titan's Return. To be honest with you, there's been a lot of beeps and buzzes and stuff this show. I'm telling you, my work is nuts right now. I got Galvatron chilling on my pile of loot. I don't even know. I hear everybody talking about this pile of loot. I don't know what that is. I don't have a clue what this pile of loot is. If my search is successful, I live in a large city and there's plenty of places to look. Works well for me so far. Good luck, Devlin, buddy. Hey, Landon. I'm not feeling commander class. No, I'm not feeling commander class either. My answer was best. What for fan? Your answer was something for best fan mode input. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say best, but it's something, man. As we go down here, so it says I specifically tried to make a trailer for Optimus out of cogs. A lot of people tried to make trailers for Optimus. Some of them were successful, honestly, Sam. Matri or matrices. It'd be. I think it's matrices. I think. I could be wrong about that. Like my Earthrise Optimus Prime trailer drone. Yeah, okay, I get it. Your Optimus Prime trailer drone. Ryan, good thing about having a matrix with Hot Rod and Rodimus is to display them evolving. Is anybody really going to do that, though, Ryan? Like, honestly, is anybody really going to do that? Thanks for that, Jay. I wanted a pair of Earthrise Ironhide Ratchet. A lot of people did. Rotorstorm is a very well articulated, great repaint of Spinister. It is. Which Japanese characters would I like to appear in American media shows? Honestly, I don't know a lot of them that well. Just do Headmasters in English well. Do Super God Master Force in English well. Do Victory in English well. And do Zone in English and make it a whole series. Like, I don't know why they keep remaking these fictions. Do all of those well. And when I say well, I don't mean like Unicron Trilogy, because that was rushed and it's terrible and it's awful. I mean, do it well. Get good voice actors. Don't skimp out. Alter the script logically. Don't just try and fit stuff in there. If a scene don't work, cut it out. Do it well. If you can't, then I don't know what to tell you. But everything is there. There's no reason that you can't do it well. And I'm telling you, you would have a sea of new characters for fans that us oldies would look and say, finally, this is what we've always wanted. I don't know why they don't do that. It is the easiest, most brilliant way to go about fiction. Someone pre-ordered the Ark at EB Stavanger from what I heard today. Maybe. Kingdom Rodimus makes me angry. Yeah, it makes a lot of people angry. Dark Omen. I live in Hawaii, so we don't have Ollie's here, but I heard all over the boards that Ollie's has EB Optimus. I don't have Ollie's either. I like the idea of Tidal Wave being a guardian robot, like Omega Supreme. Okay. I would love a broadside though at Commander class. Yeah. So would I. Tidal Wave should be leader. I could maybe Tidal Wave should be leader, but I could take him at Commander class. Broadside is a Titan in Fall of Cybertron. I don't even remember Broadside in Fall of Cybertron. My wife got that Optimus Prime pop. Tidal Wave Titan would be the size of Commander Jetfire. You're right. Yeah, Shelf Space running scarce. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Manitoba. For your respect, Gava, would you want Wheeljack and Demolisher rivals? No, not really. I don't know why. Why would those two be rivals? I don't know. I'm okay. I like Demolisher. I like Wheeljack. I've never really saw them as rivals. Any word on the Machinima War for Cybertron prequel coming to Netflix? And what? No, I never heard anything about that. You saying that is literally the first time I've heard anything about that. I got a jet, folks. Broadside was in Fall of Cybertron as an Autobot transport that was attacked by the Combaticons. If you say so, I don't remember. My concerns are a little less now on Roddy. Oh no, I'm still concerned. He's not commander, but he's definitely more than leader. Okay, so trivia. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna show you the custom, then we're gonna get out of here. So trivia really quick. In the old Nintendo Mystery of Convoy game, where you played as Ultra Magnus and you're looking for Optimus Prime, who is using the Game Genie, who is a secret hidden playable character? Is it A, Optimus Prime himself? Is it B, Rodimus Prime? Is it C, Grimlock? Or is it D, Bumblebee? Who is the secret playable character? Is it Optimus himself, Rodimus, Grimlock, or Bumblebee? Optimus, we have a B there, and that's not Bumblebee. That's B for Rodimus. We have a C for Grimlock. No idea, never played it on this. Oh, I think I stumped you guys this time. I think I stumped you guys. C for Grimlock. The answer is B, Rodimus Prime. Sam got it. It is Rodimus Prime. There's a Game Genie code to go with it. Okay, so what I got, I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to show you this kind of custom. Tony, our buddy Tony, uh, kind of showed this to me. I thought it was a really good idea, actually. So here is the Netflix deep cover. Who's not deep cover? It is a nice coloration and homage to Vanguard, who is the little partner drone that came with Action Master Sideswipe. However, to make this guy more Vanguard-esque, you can take two of those shoulder blasters and put them in like the shoulder cannons, and honestly, take Sound Barrier and use them as a plank. It makes this guy in vehicle mode a little more tankish, and in this mode, it looks more like Vanguard. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Action Master Sideswipe Vanguard. This guy is the right coloration. Using the sound barrier on the back and a couple of shoulder blasters really kind of picks up the homage. Simple little custom. But what I got in this week, and then we'll get out of here, is this. This is a Shapeways box. And inside it were a couple of little pieces. You see, a while ago, I got the Kingdom Inferno, and I was real happy to get Kingdom Inferno. I really like him. I said it's a quintessential Inferno. Yes, Sawyer, you're right, buddy. Surprised that the redecos have been done, honestly. Yeah. But I still loved the Classics Universe Inferno mold. And I was like, what am I going to do with that? And then I got an idea that I had kind of done before. When we had the Titan Masters coming out a few years ago, I took the Nightbeat and I turned the Generations Nightbeat into a Headmaster and gave him a Headmaster head. Well, now I've done the same thing here. This is now Hosehead. Masterfire, his version, takes the head and turns it around, has the back being the front, and somehow he has the arm switched. I don't know how he done that. I assume he had to unscrew some things. And of course, you can turn the legs around, no problem, if you prefer. For me, I'm okay with it this way. The head is a shape. Well, actually, that's a lie. The head is a spare Titan Master that was sent to me a while ago. Then I bought a faceplate that is Hosehead's face and had to custom paint it from Shapeways, and a neck adapter. So you had to take out the head and neck that was there and you put this in, and it still does flip around. I can transform this guy, leaving the Titan Master in, or I can take it out. So now I still have this mold, which I love, and now I have Hosehead, which is kind of neat. Or, if you prefer, Cab and his Transtector. Anyway, you cut it. Nice custom that I'm happy to have. Okay, whew, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get out of here. That was a lot of news to cover. There's my custom. We've done trivia. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. It's been a long day for me, man. If you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, heading into the weekend, that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you do make a difference. Tomorrow's review is going to be the Conehead 2-pack, and we're going to see it compared with all of the versions of that mold. I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite. We're going to see it compared to the classics. We're not going to belabor the transformation because we don't have to, but there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, including a QC issue that you might want to check on yours after you see it. Anyway, that's it. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every day, you do make a difference, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here on Thursday nights inside the live streams, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, baby. You know what I'm going to say? Inside the videos.